What's up, everybody? Weston here with the Hidden Gibbon, back with another daily deck tech video. And today we have one of the pre-con commanders from the Marvel set, and we are going to be doing some upgrades to it. But before we get into it, if you like my daily deck techs, my magic for the working class, or anything else in between, feel free to subscribe, only if you feel I've earned it. And if you want to see your commander made into a deck tech, drop it in the comments down below. Now, let's get into it. As you can tell, my voice is a little bit hoarse. My work is loud, I have to talk loudly, and as a result, I sound like this. Fun times. But today we have T'Challa the Black Panther. He is face commander for the one of the commander decks from the Marvel set. He's a 2/2 for 1 generic, 1 green, 1 white, and when he enters or attacks, create a tapped Vibranium token. And whenever you cast an artifact spell with mana value 4 or greater, put 2 1/1 counters on T'Challa. Okay. So we are going to play some big artifacts. We're going to play some creatures along with that and have kind of a competing theme of playing big artifacts, which will help us get T'Challa bigger and then kill things, and then also the theme of Blink to maximize our Vibranium tokens. So, how are we going to do that today? Well, T'Challa's got some buddies. I feel like he would actually get along with Karn. I would hope. Karn's like, you know, a pretty chill dude. Karn here, Living Legacy, is a 4 loyalty for 4, and his +1 is to create a tap Power Stone token. I really love both of these Karns. That's why I keep shoehorning them into my artifact decks. I really like these two. But creating that tap Power Stone, it's just a non-indestructible Vibranium token, right? Vibranium is just a Power Stone that is indestructible. You can also -1, pay any amount of mana, look at that many cards from the top of your library, put one of those cards in your hand and the rest in the bottom of your library in a random order, and you get an emblem with tap, an untapped artifact you control, deals 1 damage to any target. So, potentially, as long as you can protect Karn, you have T'Challa generating Vibranium tokens, Power Stones from Karn. Eventually, if you're able to ult Karn, you're going to just be able to shotgun people for a lot. And I mean, a lot. When I was gold fishing, most of the time I would just kill off the Karn because people hate planeswalkers. But like the one time I allowed it to live while gold fishing, it was like hitting people for like 10 or 11 a turn. It was gross. It was gross. Then we have Karn Cyana Versa, 5 loyalty for 4. You reveal the top 2 cards to your library. Opponent chooses 1 to put in your hand, the other is exiled with a silver counter, -1, put 1 with a silver counter into your hand, and -2, create a 0/0 construct that gets +1/+1 for each artifact you control. Now for our creatures, we have a little mixture in here. We have some big chungus dudes in here. Rounding out our big scaries are, we have Blight Steel Colossus, 11/11 for 12, trample, infect, and indestructible, and if it would be put into a graveyard from anywhere, reveal it, and shuffle it into its owner's library. We have Krang, Utrom Warrior, flying, trample, indestructible haste. Other artifact creatures you control have flying, trample, indestructible haste. For a 9/9 for 9, when we have all those little tokens we're making, is pretty good. Roaming Throne, choose a creature type. It's the chosen type in addition to its other types. If a triggered ability of another creature you control, if the chosen type triggers, it triggers an additional time. Choose hero, and then you get extra Vibraniums. We do have Walking Ballista in here. Since we're going to be generating a whole bunch of those tokens that generate mana, we can bring down a big Walking Ballista on here, you know, and then you can pay 4 to put a 1/1 counter on it. You remove a 1/1 counter from it to deal 1 damage to any target. We have Angel of Runes in here. This is a classic. Normally I'm not the biggest fan of this card because of how much it costs, but it does Plane Cycle, which gets you a land, and when it enters, you can exile 2 artifacts or enchantments. The fact that it's 7 will help you out getting counters on T'Challa. We have Bronze Guardian, double strike, ward 2. Other artifacts you control have ward 2. This creature's power is equal to the number of artifacts you control. I really like this card a lot as well. Plus, it will trigger T'Challa. I do have Foundry Inspector, Joyous Familiar, and where is he? Voyager Quick Welder in here to reduce the cost of our artifact spells. I do have Karn Living Legacy in here as power and toughness are each equal to the greatest mana value among artifacts you control. And then at the beginning of your upkeep, add a colorless mana for each artifact you control. This mana can't be spent to cast non-artifact spells until end of turn. You don't lose this mana as steps and phases end. Pretty good. Helps you ramp into these big dudes. We have Illustrious Wonderglyph. This is literally just Tendershoot Dryad, but for artifacts and gnomes. 2/2 for 5. If you have the City's Blessing, which is 10 or more permanents, other artifact creatures you control get +2/+2. And at the beginning of each upkeep, you create a 1/1 colorless gnome artifact creature token. We have Kuldotha Forge Master. Sacrifice 3 artifacts, search your library for an artifact card, and put it on the battlefield. This is great when you're generating a bunch of Vibranium from Blinking or T'Challa. We have Kutzel, Malamet Exemplar. This card's just generically good on top of its other ability. Your opponents can't cast spells during your turn, and whenever one or more creatures you control with power greater than its base power deal combat damage to a player, draw a card. We have Metalwork Colossus. This thing's going to essentially cost us 0. It costs X less to cast, where X is the total mana value of non-creature artifacts you control. Sacrifice 2 artifacts, return it from your graveyard to your hand. We have Shuri. Shuri, she was a little bit weaker, so you know what? We're going to drop her. And we're going to add in... Blink Mothern, because I like Blink Mothern. Well, then Solemn Simulacrum is a 2/2 for 4. When this creature enters, you may search your library for a basic land card. You know what Solemn does. He draws you a card when he dies as well. The Walls of Ba Sing Se. Other permanents you control have indestructible. Threefold Thunder Hulk, which is an interesting name. It's a cool name. It's a 0/0 for 7. Enters the battlefield with 3 1/1 counters on it. Whenever it enters the battlefield or attacks, create a number of 1/1 colorless gnome artifact creature tokens equal to its power. And then you can sacrifice another artifact, put a 1/1 counter on Threefold Thunder Hulk. I did put Ultron in here because I love this card. This card's really good. Friends, if you get this card, play this card in any artifact deck. Whenever another non-token artifact you control enters, you may pay 2. If you do, create a token that's a copy of it. If the token isn't a creature, it becomes a 2/2 robot villain creature in addition to its other types. I cannot tell you enough every time that I've built a deck for a deck tech with this so far and play tested it. This card is nutty. I already talked about Walking Ballista. Wormcoil Engine, a classic in here. You could also probably throw Mer Battlesphere in if you wanted to mix some things up. Death Touch Lifelink. Whenever this creature dies, create a 3/3 colorless Phyrexian Worm artifact creature token with Death Touch and a 3/3 with Lifelink. We have Zuri. Zuri is in here to have Trample, and whenever you cast an artifact spell with mana value 4 or greater, put a 1/1 counter on each creature you control. This one I deemed good enough to put in or keep in. You're gonna also notice something. Despite the fact that T'Challa is a Celestian commander, we are pretty light on our colored mana sources, right? Especially on green. Here's essentially the entirety of my green. Ready? We have Farseek and Harvest Season for tiny amount of ramp. You don't need a lot of ramp in a deck where we're going to be able to cast most of our stuff by making Vibranium tokens. We have Ancestral Communion. If you cast a spell while you control your commander, copy it. You may choose new targets for the copy. Return target permanent card from your graveyard to your hand. This card's really sick. Play this card. It's very good. Then we have Wakanda Forever. 6-cost sorcery. Reveal the top 6 cards of your library. You may put a permanent card from among them onto the battlefield with an indestructible counter on it. Here's the dream. The dream is to put Ba Sing Se into play with an indestructible counter on it. Please, let's do that. And you may put a permanent card from among them into your hand, put the rest into your graveyard. That's not bad at all. And then Avatar's Wrath, which is a bonkers card. Choose up to 1 target creature. Airbend all other creatures until end of turn. Your opponents can't, until your next turn, your opponents can't cast spells from anywhere other than their hands, and you exile it. This card's so damn good, especially nowadays where everybody makes tokens all the time. So damn good. Instance. So, rather than Unbreakable Formation and things like that, we're running a bunch of Blink, which is a way of protecting and will get us some value as well. So for our blink spells and or exile return spells that we're playing. We are playing Acrobatic Maneuver, Cosmic Intervention, Scroll Shift, Semester's End, Eerie Interlude, Ephemerate, Cloud Shift, and then also Airbender's Airbending Lesson, which airbends a permanent, and Airbender's Reversal, which can both airbend a creature you control or destroy target attacking creature. These will all blink your commander, get more Vibranium out there. Then we have Sword's Plow and Path to Exile for tiny spot removal. And then our artifacts. We are running the Ozolith since we will be getting counters. I tried to go with a lot of more expensive stuff. So the cheaper, expensive mana-wise, although the deck is expensive, the cheaper mana cost stuff is support, right? So we have the Ozolith, which is going to support your counters. We have our Soul Ring for our Mana Rock. We have the Mind Stone, which helps us blink. And then we also have Swiftfoot Boots. All right, so pretty, and Sculpting Steel to copy an artifact. But we are running Hammer of Nizan. Whenever Hammer of Nizan in this art, Black Panther's Claws, or another equipment you control enters, you may attach that equipment to target creature you control. It gets +2/+0 and indestructible. Having T'Challa be indestructible is pretty good. Blinkmoth Urn, the one I just threw in here, is at the beginning of each player's pre-combat main phase. If Blinkmoth Urn is untapped, that player adds a colorless to his or her mana pool for each artifact he or she controls. So it's like the Karn that we have above. Jamil, spells you control can't be countered. This is good. At the beginning of your end step, discover 5, which is exile cards from the top of your library until you exile a non-land card with mana value 5 or less. Cast it without paying its mana cost. Or put it into your hand. Put the rest on the bottom in any order. Conjurer's Closet. It's going to blink your stuff, right? Like the Mind Stone, once it's harnessed, will blink your stuff. We have Forsaken Monument. Colorless creatures get +2/+2 whenever you tap a permanent for colorless. Power Stones and Vibranium. You add an additional colorless, and whenever you cast a colorless spell, you gain 2 life. Helm of the Host. All right. This card's not good, but this is the Timmy and me won't let me not put it in here. It just won't. Because the dream is to put on like Blightsteel Colossus or some other big dorky thing. But at the beginning of combat in your turn, create a token that's a copy of the equipped creature, except the token's not legendary and it gains haste. We have Culture Complete, Living Weapon, Indestructible. Equipped creature gets +5/+5, has First Strike, Trample, Indestructible, Haste, and whenever this creature deals combat damage to a creature, exile that creature. There you go. Panharmonicon, this is going to double our triggers when we blink our T'Challa. That's pretty simple on that one. We have Portal to Phyrexia. When it enters, each opponent sacks 3 creatures at the beginning of your upkeep. Put target creature card from a graveyard onto the battlefield under your control. It's a Phyrexian in addition to its other types. This card's just generically strong. Spine of Ish-Sha. When it enters, destroy target permanent. When Spine of Ish-Sha is put into a graveyard from the battlefield, return it to its owner's hand. That's not bad at all either. Also, you can sack this. We have our artifact sack outlets up there, so then you get to put it in your hand and recast it. We are going to try out the 10 rings in here. Maximum hand size is 10. At the beginning of your end step, if you control fewer than 10 cards, draw cards equal to the difference. And Unwinding Clock, untap all your artifacts during each other player's untap step. We also have Wedding Ring, which when it enters, if it's cast, it has the worst. When I update the cheapest, I can see why this one's the cheapest. It's so damn hard to read. Create a copy of it under an opponent's control. Then, whenever an opponent who controls an artifact named Wedding Ring draws a card during their turn, you draw a card. Whenever an opponent who controls an artifact named Wedding Ring gains life during their turn, you gain life as well. Enchantments, Airbender's Ascension. When it enters, airbend up to 1 target creature. Whenever a creature control enters, put a quest counter on it. And then once it hits 4 quest counters, at the beginning of your end step, you can blink something, right? It's just like Teleportation Circle here and Conjurer's Closet. We do have Doubling Season, Hardened Scales, and Primal Vigor to help us out with our tokens and 1/1 counter generation. Please note that Primal Vigor is symmetrical, so your opponents take advantage of it too. We also have Reconnaissance, so you can attack with T'Challa to get Vibranium tokens, but then remove him from combat if he was going to die from something like that as well. Lands. I'm only running 8 forests because honestly, it doesn't matter about the color pips in here because we barely have any colored mana sources anyway, or colored mana cards other than white. We are running 17 plains, 8 forests. We're running 37 lands. Karn's Bastion for some Proliferate, and Inventor's Fair for Tutor effect. So, that is the build. Let's see if Moxfield is kind or mean to me today. Alright, zoom out by one. Alright, so we are starting with 3 lands. Not bad, not bad, not bad. Let's draw for turn. We're gonna drop our planes. Still not the worst thing that could happen. Next turn, I'm gonna drop the planes, and I'm actually gonna drop the Airbender's Ascension. It doesn't matter to me that we're not airbending something right away. So, next turn, I'm gonna play Canopy Vista, and I'm just gonna play T'Challa. We play T'Challa. Oh, look at that. This gets a counter on it. Add a counter. There we go. Next turn, we draw. We get a brush lands. Cool. Yeah, I'm going to play Roaming Throne. He's going to get 2 counters on him. Oh, and I'm big stupid. The one thing this card's supposed to do is that. So there we go. There's our... This gets a counter on it. This enters. I'm going to name Hero. And then we will attack with T'Challa, which will get us another Vibranium. Put it there. Tap. So then, next turn, we go like this. I think what I'm going to do is I am going to cast Panharmonicon. When we cast Panharmonicon, he's going to get 2 counters on him. It doesn't matter that we're going to be losing the counters. Well, he gets 4 counters on him. So what we're going to want to do is then attack with T'Challa, right? Attack with him on our turn. Oh, yeah, he should have gotten... Oh, my God, I'm so bad at this game. I should have gotten a 2 Vibraniums. So he's going to get 2 more Vibraniums. So we're going to say that this one's tapped. Sorry, friends. And that this isn't tapped because the Panharmonicon would have triggered. So we have all of these Vibraniums now. So he attacks. We hit for, you know, a bunch. And then what we want to do is sit and wait. And during an opponent's turn, we're going to say, you know, they're probably going to try to kill him. So then we're going to Eerie Interlude, which is exile any number of target creatures, return to the battlefield. Boom. Remove, reset counters. There we are. He comes back in. We get 2 more Vibraniums. Look at all this Vibranium. So much Vibranium. We also get a counter on Airbender's Ascension. Got a counter. Then we, you know, start our next turn. So right now, at the start of our turn, we have ourselves... We have ourselves 7 Vibraniums. 8, 9, 10, 11. We could cast something for 11. But what we're going to do is I'm just going to do this. I'm going to do this. Yep. I'm going to play Spine of his Shah. I'm going to destroy target permanent. That's cool. Right there. He's going to get his 4 counters on him. I'm just going to do this. 4. And then I think what I'm going to do... Yeah, I'll wait. Attack. Get 2 more Vibranium tokens. Look at all this Vibranium. Honestly, it doesn't even really matter if he dies, because, like, we are doing pretty well. I'm going to play him, because this is going to get... That will put this at 4. End of turn. We're going to blink T'Challa, reset counters. He comes back in. He's going to get 2 vibranium give us 2 vibranium tokens. We're just laying on the vibranium here. Look at this. And next turn. We have so much vibranium. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Look at this. We're gonna just cast a Blightsteel. That's funny. Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and cast Blightsteel. Colossus. This gets a counter on it. That's fun fact for you. Oh. Here at the Hidden Gibbon, sometimes I'm big stupid. Guess what I forgot I had in play? Panharmonicon. This should have triggered and triggered again. So we should have gotten 3 vibraniums off of each. But sometimes I'm dumb. Call me an idiot in the comments down below. Alrighty. Yeah, and then we're gonna airbend. That you see the gist of the deck, right? Like, oh wow, that was a no land hand. That's spicy. That's also spicy. But yeah, let me know what you think in the comments down below. I think that this commander could have a very high power ceiling if done correctly. As always, I'm Mr. with the Hidden Gibbon, and I hope you all have a wonderful day.